I was Nat Faison's housekeeper at the time of his death. 88 days before he died, Nat sold the house to me for $5. At the time of his death in 1870, Lizzie and William Blair also lived in the house. For the rest of my life, I went by the name of Lou Faison on censor and property tax records. The only clue to my life prior to 1870 is an obelisk in the LaGrange Cemetery. The obelisk is placed only inches from a small, rough stone marker with the name of Carolyn Price, who died during the yellow fever epidemic of 1867. The LaGrange newspaper at the time cited the names of those who died on that day. Price is not listed. Only a Negro girl. One side of the marker contained Carolyn's name, while the other side is inscribed Lou Faison, born in St. Louis, August the 4th, 1819. No date of death appears. It is possible that I came to Texas with the Samuel P. Brown family. Brown was a resident of Potosi, Missouri, only 70 miles from St. Louis. The family obtained a land grant from the Mexican government in 1835 and moved to Texas. However, at the time of the emancipation, I was owned by James Eccles, a local merchant. In the fall of 1872, the Democratic Party, consisting of Confederate supporters, took control of the state legislature from the radical Republicans, who had protected the newly freed slaves. I sold the house on November the 23rd, 1872, to Nat's brother, Peter, for $3,000 in gold, even though Nat had bought the house in 1866 for $1,800. The day before the sale, however, I purchased 3 town lots and the homestead of a white man, W. Little, for $1,860. Mr. Little had witnessed Nat's will and helped appraise its estate. Because I never learned to read or write, I signed these documents with an X. In 1890, I sold the house for $2,000. The resident and the grounds I sold consisted of 3 lots with a 5-room dwelling, plus a smokehouse, a storeroom, and so on. All were in good repair and enclosed by a good fence. I moved north of town on Pearl Street and Jackson Street, where I bought a house for $600. In 1895, I gave part of my property to Lizzie Blair Moore, who had either lived with me or next to me since Nat died. I gave it to her for my love and affection and to provide her with a home which was her separate property and not to be considered her husband's. That year, a fire destroyed my kitchen. On December the 1st, 1905, I gave the rest of my property to Delaney and Eva Stanford in return that they support, maintain, and take care of me for and during the remainder of my natural life. I passed away on November the 24th, 1909. The LaGrange Journal noted that Auntie Lou Faison, negress of antebellum days, who had many friends among the white people, died yesterday, aged about 90 years.